Hello and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to our Force and Destiny game with our two young Force Sensitives. Having gone through a lot in the last little bit of time, they are, like we said last time, freedom is a new starship, as they say, and you have one, a small freighter that you kind of traded in another ship for, and your...
our ship.
Not my ship. Your new heading, it would seem, is Nar Shaddaa, also known as the Smuggler's Moon, or Little Coruscant. Nar Shaddaa is a moon that is basically entirely encompassed in city, and it is a moon that circulates around Nar Shaddaa. And Nar Shaddaa is like the homeworld of the Hutts and kind of the center of Hutt space. And so it's this moon that it's kind of known for being all crime all the time. And so I'd say it's like it is Coruscant, but instead of like Coruscant has seedy spots and not seedy spots, Nar Shaddaa is a seedy moon. The entire thing is run by Hutts and crime organizations, and anything you want you can find there if you know the right person, and any alley that you're stupid enough to walk into, you could get mugged and shanked. Vibro shanked, specifically.
Mugged by and shanked by me.
Exactly. And the two of you, along with your droid buddy, luckily you have this droid buddy. The ship that you buy does have a astrogation computer built into it, but having your droid makes it a much quicker and better process to figure out astrogation data.
Do you have the droids?
They do. It's R3A1.
R3. That's a B, not a Nar.
And he is a gray and cyan chassis with a cone-shaped head. So instead of the kind of rounded off, it's like that kind of inward slanting cylindrical headed R units.
He's a cone head.
He's a cone head.
Oh yeah. It's just not pointy at the top.
Exactly. He's a cone head who got a flat top haircut.
Makes him a real punk.
But yeah, you have your ship, and I assume you are...
I think we'll bum around here for a little while.
You want to hang out in Mon Cala? There's always something to do in Mon Cala.
That's true.
I assume, I don't tell you what you're doing, but you have R3 punch in some astrogation data for you, and you have your heading to Nar Shaddaa. Take a little bit of time, but it's fairly... it's also in the Outer Rim, and it's on this kind of half, or this it's in the same sort of swath of the Outer Rim that Mon Cala is, just kind of a little more towards the core, I guess, and kind of off to a side. And it'll take a little bit of time, but you're able to arrive outside the moon.
All right.
This isn't the kind of moon that Imperial channels are going to hail you for access codes to land or anything wild like that. You know that Hutt space operates more or less independent of the Empire. They're at an uneasy alliance of Hutt space pays taxes that they don't need to the Empire, and the Empire's go ahead and do all your crimes out here as long as they don't affect us. Specifically here, there's probably small Imperial outposts, but they're only interested in their import and export of materials for their war machine. They're not there to police really hardly at all.
They're making sure some hooligans don't knock over a steel freighter. And,
yeah, exactly.
Space steel.
They're hanging out to make sure that whatever crime happens here does not affect the Empire, and nothing more. The world is run by a Hutt. The moon is run by a Hutt. If you'd like, you can go ahead and roll me a knowledge Outer Rim to see what specifically you know about this place.
It's a good excuse for me to remember to pull up my dice roller app, so
yeah, that it
we'll
is.
do that.
And you know what? While you have it up, why not toss a Force die on there and roll for Destiny points? One dark side.
I will roll 2 dark side.
And I'm assuming 2 light side from Flopsy.
1 dark side.
Oh man, it's all dark side all the time here on the Crime Moon.
Loaded dice.
Okay, and then knowledge.
Flopsy's little sweetheart couldn't do that.
It's a outer
rim or underworld, either way.
Well, it's the same either way. So it's 2.
We'll call it average.
Green.
Excuse me.
And then 2 purple to contest. 1 failure, but 1 advantage.
Okay. We'll say that you don't know a whole lot of specifics. You know all crime all the time out here, and you know that, we'll just say a kind of random bit of information that you picked up from some spacers in the past is that there's kind of 2 ways to land in Nar Shaddaa. There's kind of a greater and lesser shipyard district. The greater shipyard district tends to be larger freighters and stuff coming and going, and a little more policed or monitored, whereas the lesser is more for smaller ships, smugglers, bounty hunters, the like coming and going, and it tends to be like independent contractors who have like a shipyard that people can land in, more or less.
Okay.
And those tend to also be where like mechanics shops and stuff like that are.
Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely head that way.
Okay. Anything in particular you're looking for in a place to land?
Kind of like on the edge.
Okay.
Not really looking to like land right in the middle of the mess. Just try
Are
to
you
like
flying
stay on
the
that side. The astromech is. I'm not really.
You're doing like the astromech for like the. He's not an expert pilot by any stretch, but he can kind of take over the controls and kind of cruise control for you.
See, I do have piloting planetary and space, so I can.
You're a decent. Yeah, you're not a bad pilot. You're dexterous, which helps a lot. You're agile. I won't make you make any checks here. This is not a duress at all. It's literally just landing the ship, and you have some skill in it, so I'll say you're able to do so. You land inside of what looks kind of like a shipyard. It's kind of like a large circular structure, kind of open top center that ships can land in. It has like a couple little garages set into it. There's no ships currently landed there, and land down in that.
All right. So this is gonna be. It's been a couple weeks for us. Our kind of like goal was to like lay low, right, and just like find a place to like hole up, make some money, not like cause a big scene.
Yeah.
I think was our goal. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
our goal.
So, yeah, we'll land, pay our docking fees or whatever.
And we'll go ahead and really quick,
sorry.
like land, ramp drops. You can walk down off of here. It seems like this. It's not exactly a junkyard, but there's piles of ship parts around. It seems like there's probably like mechanic work, and also just kind of like, oh, you need this. I probably got that. Go dig in that pile long enough, you might find it. You can see that not chained up, kind of free roaming the lot out here is one of those like Tusken Raider dogs. If you've seen those, if you know what I'm talking about, like the kind of spines down their back, which I think they're called mastiffs. Literally just mastiff without the T, I believe is the technical term for them.
Let me see. Get rid of my Mickey Minaj.
Yeah, it is massive. And the guy who approaches you can see is a basilisk, which is one of those four-armed guys. If you've seen Star Wars Episode 2, the how big your pocketbook is. So that guy, he's got four arms, they're kind of scaly-looking dudes, and he introduces himself as Garo. Says he's Garo Das, this is his shipyard. Said, don't mind Carbonite. He says, kind of gesturing towards the dog. He says, I just bought him, but I got him off a good trainer, and he doesn't bite as long as you don't cause me trouble.
I don't believe that for a fucking second.
This thing's looking at you like a pork chop. And he asked, like, how long do you intend to be staying here?
Couple weeks, probably.
If you go ahead and pay 50 credits up front, that'll cover the first week.
Can I roll a sense?
Yeah.
So, sense is just a force die, right?
Yeah, you can just roll a first die on it.
2 dark side.
Are you kind of leaning in and letting...
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, right? Basically...
Doggo looked like.
Oh, gotcha.
The vibe that... Yeah, the vibe you're getting off of him is that he's slightly overcharging you, but you get this sense in his mind of he's looking at you and he's like, this is like two weird people. This kid's trying to negotiate with me. Clearly they're on the run from something. They want to lie low. They have to pay me. So that's kind of you think that he's got a pretty good read on you guys.
Yeah.
And so he feels confident overcharging you slightly for this.
Slightly overcharging we can deal with. Yep, I'll go ahead. I'll say.
Are we running from something?
Yes. Murderers.
Oh yeah,
What?
we are. Yeah,
That's called law enforcement, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you're not technically wrong.
I'm technically correct. The best kind of correct.
We're on the run. Yes, Flopsy, that's why we stole a ship and then fenced that ship to buy another ship.
Hey, the owner isn't going to come looking for it, I don't think.
We were given that ship, Foo. To a dying man.
I'll say
Who was
a little steep, but I'll take it.
And I won't ask your name.
Sounds like a fair deal. It's worth the extra charge.
What are you guys, like, What gear do you have with you? What are you wearing? What's your look at the moment?
So, I'm wearing the robes.
Okay.
I believe. Hang on. I had this written down. Where's my armor?
Your robes with the kind of scorched shoulders.
Yeah. Heavy clothing with that robe to help keep me warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a blast. Well, I guess he might not be able to see under my robes that I'm carrying my blaster and my sword.
Okay.
And then you're Flopsy. So.
Are you carrying your sword with you as well?
Yeah.
You don't really use it.
No, I don't.
Well,
you can leave it on the ship.
It's up to you.
Okay,
like either way, you used it before. I think it's kind of like more damage, but less like you're not as good with a lightsaber as you are with your fists. So it's like less likely to hit, but if it hits, it deals more damage because it's a sword, not just fists. Mm-hmm. So either way's fine. Either one can use your like abilities you've gotten from your tree. So it's up to you whether you'd bring it with you.
Oh yeah, it does work with.
Works with lightsaber as well as brawl and melee stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll just leave it on the ship, but I just have my fisticuffs and my little brass knuckles, and I got like no pants on.
Your big furry thing. You've got your little like speaker thing that translates your language for everybody.
Because I grunt and howl if I don't have it, so it translates for me, which is really helpful. And I'm wearing like a He-Man kind of bottoms.
You have the power.
And the cheeks.
And double cheeked up. You wouldn't know though because you're a big mop.
Yeah, you can't see my cheeks, but they're pretty furry.
All right. And to describe, I mean, this is literally like kind of a dirty, gross city spanning an entire moon. It's very futuristic. There's speeders and stuff flying around, but it's not the like shining metropolis that Coruscant pretends to be. It's very honest in the fact that it is a grungy city of crime. And you are in the Lesser Shipyard District. You are at this shipyard. He seems to have gotten his pay and is absolutely fine having you parked here for a while.
I'll ask him if he knows some cheap digs.
Like place to stay?
Yeah.
You're such an old man when you talk.
Cheap digs.
Listen, man, I don't know. What do the kids say What do kids say in futuristic space places? Place to crash?
He says that as long as you don't bring any trouble, you're welcome to crash on whatever amenities you have on your ship in his yard.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
But if you come out of your ship in the middle of the night and cause any trouble, Carbonite over there will tear you to shreds. So don't try anything.
There's fair enough.
That being said, otherwise you're more likely to want to leave this district to find anywhere to stay. All you'll really find out here is
Trouble.
Shipyards, couple cantinas, trouble, and manufacturing.
And loose women.
But they're all going to be like weird alien women. Like that one that sings in Jabba's palace in that one
she's
scene.
Like,
yeah, that one. You know.
You know.
The one.
With her eyeballs like flying all over the place. She's like really badly
if that's
CGI.
what you're into.
Oh yeah, she's fucking sexy.
I realized I already had that point in parry, so I'm going to take that indistinguishable because
There you go.
just so you're aware when later I give you stats and you're like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
It's like I already had that.
How have you done both of these things?
Why have you done this?
I can't believe you've done this. So
Yeah.
what's your next move?
Well, we can crash on there, so we should probably figure out a way to recoup our docking fees. Try to track down some pit fights for you.
We can't be honest fishermen or something, or work an honest living.
Maybe if we were someplace else, but this is the crime moon.
I guess.
If you wanted to go be simple farmers, you should have voiced that a little bit earlier. Before I spent the gas money.
You're like, damn it, I didn't want to play Star Wars, I want to play Stardew Valley!
I play Farming Simulator.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
We can go fight.
That's what we're here for.
But we're going to put you into fighting and me into betting. I'm going to bet you.
I could probably... That might be fun.
Do you allow swords in your fights?
That is true. It'd have to be an armed fight.
The Force.
It would have to be an armed fight. I think we'll stick with our general plan, if that's okay with you.
You're not gonna let Flopsy be your manager.
You're gonna go far, kid.
Well, this is Flopsy when I'm fighting, and I'm like, okay, Flopsy, you gotta like collect payment and like hype up the crowd and yada. And she's like, I got 2 rocks. I'm like all beat up. Like, all right, how much do we get?
How much do we win? I put in 300 credits, and my winnings are these 2 rocks. He only wanted to give me 1. I convinced him to throw the second one in.
The second one is a very
I'm a
good
shrewd
one.
business yeti.
So yeah,
You
you damn dirty ape. Yeah, I think we're gonna maybe head towards like an entertainment district.
Okay, that definitely exists.
And,
While I'm fighting, you should be hoeing.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna go
shake your ass like. No, I'll be managering, which is hoeing but different.
Different kind of hoeing.
Pimping more than hoeing.
That's true.
You are
Pimping ain't easy,
but
pimping.
sure is fun.
It's true.
You gotta wear like an all like orange suit or something.
Your sword as a cane. A lightsaber cane. So you're able to definitely go to the kind of more entertainment, kind of nightlife party district. It's very much like grungy city nightlife. Like it's neon lights everywhere. It's kind of cramped and crowded and people moving around. It's kind of got like a Vegas, like to put it in. There's kind of a Las Vegas feel.
A little bit of drugs, a little bit of
There's
cocaine.
you want spice, you're gonna find spice here. There's also
Some
like
nipples.
this sort of area in particular. There's lots of like casinos and stuff as well, with like gambling and drinking and possibly pit fights, or at least people who probably know about pit fights.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll look for I don't know, just look for signs that say "fight tonight." You know, it's the. I guess we're not really gonna get into like a top card fight or anything, but it's like everyone's looking for undercard fights.
If I win, can I get the equivalent Star Wars version of a slushie?
Sure, 100%. It's just a slushie. It's still
just, it's a vibro slushie.
What is with this place and everything vibrating?
It's not. It's actually just a glass of blue milk that's been allowed to sit out all day and then put in a freezer.
That does not sound good.
I'll take it. So moving through. I mean, are you just trying to hit up a casino, or what's your plan to try? There's nothing you can see that's like fights here tonight or anything like that.
Sumo wrestling.
Yeah, I'll try to hit up a casino.
Okay. We'll say for the sake of this, you find something that's called the Starlight, and it seems to be kind of cantina, casino, party place. It seems to be the big poppin' place around here. And you can also see that something of note to mention about, first of all, the place you just left. You could see that in front, like painted basically on the front wall of the shipyard you landed in, there's like a strange signet thing on it that seems to be a what's basically a like green ball with like a twirling tail behind it. And here you can see similarly, like kind of painted in the front a little more elegantly, what appears to be a like blue and red swirl, like interweaving with each other. Seems to be some sort of like gang affiliation or something like that with it. Gang. And walking up to this, there's a bouncer out front who seems to be more or less just like, at this point it's early enough in the evening that there's like plenty of room for people to come in, but he seems to be kind of eyeing everyone that's coming in and stopping some people. I mean, like, you're not allowed back here, and turning around and throws in. But if you guys approach up, just go ahead and both roll me a charm or a streetwise or
how's a deception do you?
That'll do great.
Okay.
Roll something social or something scummy.
I have both of those.
Something social, something scummy.
So I'll roll.
It'll be easy.
Okay. So I'll roll a deception, which is so it's your base, and if your rank in it, it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Just remember.
So it's your cunning, which is 3, right?
Yeah.
And you have 2 ranks in it?
Yeah, 2 ranks.
So it's, 2 yellow, 1
purple. Cool. And I get to add a boost die. Because of my
you're
specialized. Which will say a whole bunch. 3 success, 2 advantage.
He doesn't even take a second glance at you. He's just like, assumes you're the kind of guy who'd walk in here.
And then
like,
Flopsy.
Unscrupulous sort in a hoodie. Yep, you belong here.
Let's see. You've got... Oh, how about a cool? Is cool social?
I think cool can work for this.
Right. So your presence, just 2, 1 upgraded. Against an easy 2 advantage.
Between 2 you're not harassed. You're not stopped. You're able to move in, walk into the starlight.
Nice.
Seems to be popping. There's some like fairly loud music going. It's something a little more dance club techno-y than like your usual Tatooine cantina music.
So someone would say be popping their fucking pussy right now.
They would be
The
definitely
alien equivalent for sure.
without a doubt. And you can see all sorts of people moving around. There is a dance floor. There's people dancing. There's people drinking. There's people smoking death sticks. There's people taking spice. There's quite a bit of gambling going on. It seems like sabacc being played at tables and stuff like that around here. You can see that there's like a pretty large bar area that's got a bunch of these droids that are basically like a pole with a little head at the top and all these arms swiveling around. They're like grabbing and mixing drinks. And one of those blue little elephant men seems to be sitting in what's more or less like a baby chair that's on a rail system that just he keeps like swinging around in circles around the bar, who seems to be kind of like talking to people and kind of the head of the bar. And you can see he's got like a little control panel that as he beeps you can see like droids moving and like grabbing and mixing drinks for other places. But yeah, it's popping. Place seems to be alive and full of energy.
There you go. I'll take a quick look to see if there's like a ring, like a boxing ring or something like that. If it's that kind of establishment.
Go ahead and give me a notice.
Okay.
Or perception, or
Perception.
whatever it is.
Loud sounds and colors.
It's gonna just be it's gonna be an easy one, but with a setback die because of all the chaos going on.
Gotcha. Can Flopsy roll 1 too?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm distracted by the sounds and colors.
She cannot because she's distracted by the sounds and colors.
I'm over here just like...
So easy, you said?
Easy, but with a setback.
Easy with a setback, okay. 1 success, 1 advantage.
You do see one. The advantage is that there is one here. You do notice it, but there's no fights currently happening in it. And it seems like it's kind of like... It's a sectioned off area that seems to be kind of where a lot of the dancing and stuff is happening right now. It seems like it's kind of like an off night for something like that to be happening. But you look at it like, oh, that definitely could be used for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
You could talk to him.
I know, that. In any good tabletop game, the first thing you do when you walk into a new place is go talk to the bartender.
Okay.
So that's the... So I'll go up to the bar.
All right. You go up to the bar, and initially a droid kind of swivels over to you, seeming to be taking a drink order.
I'll give him like some generic, I don't know, space drink.
Okay.
And ask to see the... I've got a question for the bartender.
Okay. And you just kind of... And you speak droid, and basically like, right away, sir. And it turns, and it starts mixing and grabbing stuff. And as it does, you can see like the little blue elephant guy, which that species does have a name. I had it. Ortolans.
They're so cute.
Ortolan.
Your little blue elephant guys.
I may or may not have voice acted this guy before, and I feel like I did a kind of Danny DeVito thing with him, but I don't remember. For the sake of this,
his brother.
I'm going to assume it's the same guy and that they both had this. But it kind of, after a second, it kind of swings around. And, how can I help you? Roscat.
Roscat. Good to see you.
Never seen you before.
New in town.
What you looking for?
A fight. All right, I'll indicate at the ring that I'm trying to fight.
And I'm over here just like popping my foot.
It'd be like, for you or the mop back there?
For the mop.
Well, we don't have any fights here soon, but if you're looking for somewhere else that's got it, I bet Rolona would know. She owned the place. And he kind of gestures over to what you can see, a Twi'lek woman who seems to be talking with a couple people at a table. He says, "She knows everything going on around these parts."
Well, since this is a tabletop game, you have to ask: Is woman in italics? You're like,
She looks like the kind of classic. She's the kind of Twi'lek that a creepy fat Hutt would put on a chain and chain up in front of his thing. But she is maybe like a little older, but still a very beautiful Twi'lek woman who's like very confidently moving about this place. She's walking around like she owns the place, and literally does.
You gotta paint a picture.
That's right. That's right.
All right, appreciate it. I'll tip him well
Okay.
for how much was the drink?
The drink would have probably been like 3 credits.
Okay, so where's my? Hang on, I have my
For like
currency.
a nice mixed something or other.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do
Space
3
cocktails,
3 for the
Bible
drink
cocktails.
and 5 for the bartender.
Okay.
We'll call it a nice round number for my credits.
Awesome.
Bam. 150 for those keeping track at home. How close we are to starvation and destitution.
I like
Yeah.
to move it.
Yeah, the whole time in the background, Paul is just like partying. Yeah, well, Roddick, you said?
Erotic?
No.
Roscat.
Roscat.
Her name's Rolona.
Rolona. Okay. Names that I have to keep track of. Rolona. Okay. I'll go talk to Rolona.
Okay. You head on over, and she kind of immediately takes note that you are approaching towards her, and seems to kind of wrap up the conversations he's having with these two, and then turns to look at the two of you approaching, and it's like, "How can I help you?"
Roscat mentioned you'd know when a fight's going to be. A betting fight, I guess I should say.
There's always a fight to be had in Nar Shaddaa. Aren't you a little young to be drinking and fighting and gambling?
Who's asking? I know, I've got a better one. Are you serious? I thought we were in Nar Shaddaa.
Fair enough. There's none here anytime soon, nothing at least worth anyone's time. There is, however, a fairly large fight coming up in an establishment not too far from here in 2 days' time. It, however, is attracting quite a bit of buzz and attention. It's not for the faint of heart or the new to the scene. Winners from that, at least from this particular one, the final champion of it, gets the opportunity to go and fight in the Hutt's tower in a much larger fight. Big money on the line and lots of players. People you wouldn't want to piss off.
I've been fighting since I was born, so...
Yeah. You are a born fighter, I'll give you that. It's mostly if we want to be attracting that much attention.
Come on now.
I guess Flopsy's ears perk up. Like, oh. It's like, I'm like, well, I guess we'll take a bite and see if it's too much.
Be careful not to joke on your aspirations. Basically. She says, peeling back the mask to reveal Darth Vader. Yeah. She gives you the establishment to go to, and does it enjoy your night?
Yeah. You got any rules for Sabacc?
I probably do.
I'll probably play a hand of Sabacc real quick.
Okay.
If we, you gotta spend money to make money. You know, before we go into a big betting ring, we gotta.
You gotta gamble a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm gonna dance.
There you go.
All right.
You can have the rest of my drink. You 9-year-old.
I'm a little baby.
Tough. It's tough because you're like 12 feet tall. So I just assume you're.
I'm just gonna the big drink. I'm like. Boop.
I guess that is like something to be said is that Mr. Manus here probably doesn't know how old you are. Like he just assumes you're an adult. Because you're gigantic and you fight things to death.
Mm-hmm. But you're like 7, aren't you?
Yeah, you're like a little child. I don't think we have like
I am 7.
7.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not
So are you
18.
like 16, 17, something
Yeah.
like that?
I have 16 written down
Mhm.
here. You know, street rat things. I don't really exactly know.
Yeah.
Maybe I can be 12
You're
for all I
9
know.
9 years older than I am.
Let's see. There you go.
Literally double her
It's-
age and a third her size.
Exactly. That's the thing. I just assume that you're a fully grown adult and you're gonna take care of yourself.
Mhm.
But
So you're going out and dancing in the middle. Go ahead and Go ahead and roll me a coordination for how well you dance.
I hope it's bad.
So coordination.
You can choose that you dance badly.
Dang!
If you'd like to try and dance
no,
well,
no, we're
roll a
gonna let
coordination.
fate.
What do we call it? Is
It'll be average.
Average.
Ready?
Straight up roll here.
This is the most important rule I've ever done in my life.
Ah,
We're failing here,
but
but
to
you
admit-
You suck at dancing, but people are into it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're like the big dude,
got
the
the
big dude
spirit.
out there, like super into it, but like your heart's in it, but you're terrible.
Right.
But
You're
everyone's
not in time
like,
at all.
you're a lot like me, drunk dancing. You know, you're not doing well, but people like that you're into it. People like the commitment you're putting out there on the dance floor.
You
It's-
got heart.
Maybe it's like I'm a 7-year-old child who loves
Exactly,
good lights
and everyone's like,
colors.
"Oh, so cute," but they're like, "Oh, this full-grown weird alien man is out here dancing, and you're actually a little kid."
I'm a 7-year-old little girl.
And they're like, "This giant furry man is dancing like a fool." Hey! And everyone's
He's
having a great time
drunk as hell.
because your species is not very common, and people would be like, "Ah, yes, one of this species. This is probably a 7-year-old." To you, you are able to. You see a couple of different sabacc games going on. How high stakes of a table? Like, how fancy of a table are you trying to sit down at?
I want to spend 50 credits.
You want to have like a 50 buy-in for a hand? Because that'd be probably like a mid to higher. Like that's not like the big ballers or anything like that. But that's like you'd be sitting with some people who are like look like the smuggler types and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's go rub some elbows.
Okay. You kind of pull up and sit down, and you can see that there's 3 people sitting there, and they seem like they've just finished a hand, and you see a guy like shrugging, like 2 guys like, and I'm hot, all right, and he kind of drags some of this in the credits
Flush
in
with
there.
cash. I like it.
And he seems to have the most of the 3, but they all seem to still have a decent stack of credits in front of them, and they kind of all turn and look at you as you walk up. You can see it's 2 humans. The guy who just pulled in was human, the other guy was human, and then on the other side appears to be a Nikto.
Gotcha. All right. I'll say, I gotta pay my docket fees.
Something of note, the Nikto that's sitting there seems to have a metal leg, like a replaced leg, and you can see what looks more or less like a biker cut hanging on the chair behind him that has like a similar symbol on it to that kind of green swooping symbol that you saw in the mechanic shop.
What was did the mechanic give his name?
He did. He said Garodos. What's his name?
Gotcha. I'll write that down just in case it's useful later.
And sitting at this table, they kind of all look up at you, and the human who just won quite a bit kind of says, "Can we help you, buddy?"
He can give me a good hand of cards. Cards, whatever they
Yes, they use little cards.
Yeah.
He's like, "Huh, all right, 50 credits. Big spender for a punk kid."
Yeah, you have no idea how many people I had to rob and murder to get this much money.
And you guys and like the 2 humans kind of chuckle a little uncomfortably, and the Nikto sitting next to you like looks at you, is like, "I like this one." And he slaps you on the back pretty firmly, and you're like, "Draw your hand." So we're going to use Cool to establish the base dice pool.
All right.
I will add difficulty dice to your dice pool based on the difficulty of the game and the skill of the opponents. You will roll the dice pool, leaving the dice on the table, and then roll a single force die to illustrate the shifting nature of the card's signs. For each dark side symbol, 1 success and 1 advantage are converted into a failure and threat, respectively. Conversely, each light can convert failure or threat into a success. And you can cheat by using deception, skullduggery, or computer's skill. I'm not sure how computers... Maybe it's because...
You hack the cards.
You hack the card. For the test, and you can upgrade the difficulty of the skill check once. So basically, you can use one of those instead, but it'll be 1 harder. It's upgraded.
Yeah.
It's upgraded, so it'll be a red instead of a purple on one of them. And then the despair symbol, you're caught, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, despair. Oh, so if you get
That's
any
like
despair.
Any
you're
despair.
gone.
The despair is like the crit fail, basically.
I see.
On a success, overall, you win the wager.
All right.
And so you throw out 50. They all match the bet of 50. Go ahead and... Are you going to cheat?
Yes. I'm going to use my deception.
You use your deception instead. Okay. So with their skill level, it'll be an average check, but it'll be a red and a purple.
Okay, but I can use my cunning.
Yeah, it'll be your deception skill instead of your cool skill.
And then I can go this and a red, so a purple and a red. All right, here we go. Ooh, 2 success, but 2 threats.
And then go ahead and roll a force die.
And then
2 success, 2 threat.
Ooh,
1 dark side, so it'll be 1 success. Okay. And we will do this. Okay. For the sake of this, you win that hand.
Hey.
And it's an all or nothing, so you put in 50, they all each put in 50, so you add 150 back.
Nice.
Beginner's luck.
Well, I'm 100 up right now, so I'll say I'll play another hand.
Alright. And then
Alright, I'll do the same thing.
Do the same thing, 50 in, okay? They put on another 50. And this is, for the sake of the game, fairly quick, but this is actually like kind of passing around. Like,
Right.
there's back and forth.
It's like a hand of poker. It's
Exactly.
not like a...
So, basically, wait, what was your strain?
Strain?
Or your how many setback or threat or whatever it's called?
Oh, I had
You had 2, right?
2. Yeah, it was 2 success, 2 threat.
2 success, 2 threat. So, with the 2 threat, however, you are going to have a setback die in your next roll as you fall for an opponent's bluff.
Gotcha. Okay. So I've got my cunning, so I'm cheating again with my deception. Basically what my deception is like I'm like looking out of the corner of my eye and like seeing like the very corner of like one of my opponent's cards or something like that. Like I'm like act like if somebody looked over and saw me, they'd see me like you know. Yeah. So that's how we'll flavor it.
Okay.
And I'm rolling my force die with all of this.
Sounds good.
Ooh. So we have 4 success, 1 threat, 1 dark side.
Okay. You will suffer a strain.
Okay.
As one of your cards kind of unexpectedly flips when you're looking at it, forcing you to change your strategy this round of play. You do, however, with 3 success total, win that hand as well.
Nice. So that's another 150.
Mm-hmm.
So I've made 300
Yeah.
off of where I'm at. Oh, no, made 200.
Made
'cause I
200.
put 50 in.
You put 50 in to start and made 150 additional back. And you put that same 50 in and made 100. So you've made 300.
300. Okay.
You've made 300 back, basically. From whatever your amount was before, you have 300 more.
I'll say, well, boys, that pays for my docking fees. I don't want the big guy to have to go hungry tonight, if you know what I mean. I'm basically pointing out I'm here with this big tough guy that's like out on the floor right now, and if they try to beat me up, I'm gonna...
I know exactly what I look like. I look like that guy from White Chicks who has the whistles. He's like...
They turn and look. How about this?
Oh.
One more hand, double or nothing. You're just a lucky kid.
So I put it in 100,
Mm-hmm.
is what you're saying. Let's go.
They're gonna throw out their. They're each gonna throw out their 100.
Alright. I am cheating again, because I'm
Okay.
a bastard. Do I have any setbacks this time?
You do not.
Okay. 1 failure, but 2 light side.
So that makes it
So
equal out to
two.
1 success.
Success.
Total, which is a tie with somebody. So, for the sake of that, we'll just say reroll the check, I guess.
Okay.
And he will do the same.
Alright. Let's see it.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Oh, no. 2 advantage, 1 to spare, 1 dark side.
1 success, 1 threat from him. So you're kind of playing this, and these other 2 are kind of like, oh man, and he's kind of like playing this, and he kind of like, and he sets the cards down like he hit the winning hand, and he's like, and this is the Nikto, who the bigger biker looking fellow, who's like, were you peeking at my cards?
I like look at the other guy. Get a load of this guy. you win the double or nothing. You like, and you're trying to take more from me. Like
Go ahead and roll me a hard deception.
Hard deception. All right. Deception. I have my special eyes.
You do have your special eyes. You also need to upgrade one of those to a red.
Ooh, this is what I get for being cocky. That is 5 success, 2 threat, 1 triumph.
1 triumph.
So, can I... So, I'm like... I'm going to play up the angle of like... Like, you won.
You won.
Like,
why are you booing me?
Why are you booing me? You won. And one of the other guys is going to be like, you've been winning all night. What are you... Like, he's maybe lost a little... Like, he's lost all of these hands.
Yeah.
And he's like... You're going after this guy because you lost, because you won a hand? What are you talking about?
With the threat. He kind of like glances over that guy who kind of like stiffens up at the look. And it seems like this guy kind of demands some respect from the people here a little bit. And he kind of turns and looks at you and he takes you by the like front of your jacket a little bit towards him. And he's like, if you were cheating, I'd like you more for it. And he drops you back in your chair, scoops the money in. He says, you get the hell out of here, kid.
All right, I made 200. I was at 300. I lost 100. We're at 200. It's all good. So that brings me up to 350 credits, which I've made money on this whole endeavor. We're making some capital here.
That's capital.
We're
this is
and cheating.
This is the grifter lifestyle.
This is you're like
eat out where you can get it. You know.
You know your Yeti friend may have thrived at being a Jedi out in the middle of the tundra, but this is where you thrive at being a Jedi.
Is being a dirty grifted son of a bitch.
I did like the tundra. It was nice.
Yeah, it's probably a little warm here.
Do I start shedding?
I would say that is totally up to you. If you would like, I don't know your species. I'm a Star Wars nerd, but nowhere near enough of a Star Wars nerd to know the shedding pattern of certain furry species.
That's true.
I'm going to say yes, because if it's hot in the summertime, and we've been at 2 hot planets now, one very humid, and this place probably...
This one's fairly temperate, honestly. It's not like miserably hot or anything. It's not super sunny out. It's honestly probably pretty smoggy most of the time here. So it's not miserably hot. You're probably not like, yeah. It's nowhere near as bad as the like swamp world you were enslaved on. It's a step up from that. Step down in your eyes from wherever you just were out in the middle of the snow. But
I'm going to start shedding because I was in the snow and my skin was like, yes. And now I've been like...
A little richer, you're able to step away from the table without this biker wringing your neck.
Yeah, and we'll, I guess we'll make our way. I think that's all the risk I'm willing to take for tonight. And we'll, I'll try to get Flopsy back to the crash couch.
All right. You're doing the like Squidward weird dance move, like.
Come on, you party animal.
And as you kind of like dance away from the crowd, everyone's like, "Hey!" And then they go back to being, ecstasy fueled 20-somethings out in the middle of the dance floor.
There you go.
They're on that ecstasy spice.
Ecstasy spice, yeah.
Is spice just cocaine? Is that the...
Spice comes in many different forms. Spice, it turns out, is like a sort of wide umbrella term for a huge selection of narcotics, both drugs and medicines.
Gotcha.
Because Star Wars has a hard time pinning down its lore sometimes. Spice is both like cocaine and morphine.
I was wondering if we were using like our terms for spice. Like,
oh yeah, there's also like human spice. That is earth spice, but no. It's not literal. Yeah.
We're not talking like coriander.
No,
and,
I meant like,
she means like...
I meant like the spice drug my dad took, and I was like, oof. I was like...
Why you gotta out your dad like that?
No one knows who my dad is. He doesn't watch... Well, maybe he watches...
Someday.
Maybe someday.
I'm rich and famous.
That's right. Thanks.
Anywho.
Thanks, 8 people who follow this story. 5 people who follow this story. The 3 of us, probably.
I don't watch these videos.
Dude,
I'm not
I
that
mean,
much
that's
of a
actually exciting
narcissist.
to me if you guys don't. Because I watch every video we post because I go through and make sure everything comes up good. But the fewer of my friends who are watching it, the better. Because that means that those views are actual people.
Yeah, we don't watch it. I don't like watching myself like being recorded.
I'm comfortable with it now, but it was very weird at first. Anyway, all right, so you guys roll on out of the starlight and back to your ship.
Yeah. Did we name our ship?
You did not.
Did it have a name?
Can we name it Kevin?
It didn't have a name.
Can we name it Kevin?
Or Gregory?
Great.
Yeah, we should name it Kevin or George or a guy's name. Maybe.
We were having this argument earlier about how boats are named after women. And Jocelyn was very upset about that.
I was like, very sexist. I'm gonna name the first yacht I
Huh.
have like.
Listen,
What a coincidence. It is a Starlight class freighter.
Yeah.
You just left the Starlight, the cantina, to go to your Starlight, the ship.
what's the name of this is going to be a very deep cut, like, lore question. Does the sun of this system have a name?
It sure does, and I know it off the top of my head.
I'm not expecting that this is written down anywhere. I'm just like, if it sounds even somewhat fine, we'll name it after that. Because it's a starlight. This is the current star that we have light under.
We're naming it Starlight?
Well, it's a Starlight class ship. And we came from the Starlight bar. So I'm figuring we just name it after whatever the current star we're orbiting is called.
What is it?
We don't know yet.
Well, the system is the E-tube system.
E-tube?
The sun is called E-tube.
E-tube.
It is named E-tube.
We'll call it the E-tube. Sounds alright. No? Not a fan?
Do you want to know the one for like the Mon Cala system? Or is there another system?
What other system have we been to?
Mon Cala is one you just
Mon
came
Cala.
from.
If it sounds cool. It's gonna be like Squid 4.
Suns 2. That's helpful. It's a binary star system that contained the planet Mon Cala. There's 2 suns, neither of which appear to be named.
Nah. I don't know. You got a name? Besides Gregory?
Pangea.
What about Pangea?
We can go Pangea. That sounds fine. It's our whole world.
It doesn't really make any sense, but sure. This bitch don't know about Pangea.
I was just like, what rhymes with mango? Because I was looking at, it was like Mongo, Bongo,
In the
like,
Congo.
Congo. What about Pangea? And then I just said Pangea.
This thing. We're making it up. It doesn't matter. You can name it whatever you want. Pangea is funny. I'll take it.
You know, also, there is the... I was trying to look up, because you're from Umbara. You're an
Right.
Umbaran. I don't think your system technically like has a sun.
It doesn't.
Which is kind of cool, but it is the Ghost Nebula.
Oh.
If you want to use something from the Ghost Nebula.
We can name it after a ghost. What's a famous ghost?
Abraham Lincoln.
Can you please name it Pangea? I beg of you. Not Abraham. Not honest aim.
Wait.
How about... I know... You want to be smartasses? You know a great ghost you can name it after? How about Dagunji?
Rip Dagunji.
Deep cuts right back at you, you bastard.
Oh no.
Our boy.
The Wrath of Dagunji.
It's one of those... We can't name it that, because then as soon as they hear that name, they're like, there they are! We might as well call it the Outcast Jedi.
The war criminal.
Yeah.
We can call it. No, I was gonna say like Queen Victoria or something, but that doesn't make sense in Star Wars. Let's just call it.
I'm still laughing at calling it Pangea. What's my... Hang on.
4.
We can call it the Sundo. After,
Sundo?
After your last name?
No, after my mom.
Oh, you're like adopted mom?
Yeah. No, my name's Spitz.
That's right.
That's my last name. Mana
Sundo
Spitz.
is a good one.
Yeah.
I was gonna start like being like, I was gonna say Will Smith.
No, we can't even have the Earth stuff. It's a spaceship.
I know, and it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
George
Sundo?
Lucas.
Yeah, the Sundo.
I like it. She'll be
Sundo.
so honored if she ever finds it.
The Sundo.
If she survives.
Yeah, you know, parent characters, it's tough. She's not literally my parent, so I won't get too broken up about it. Just, you know.
You cry like a baby.
I'll have my own, like, Anakin Skywalker moment where I'm like, ah!
I hate shipyards. They build ships, and those ships go everywhere.
And then they blow up.
All right.
Yeah.
You return to the Sundo.
There we go. Yeah, I think we're just crashing for the night. We're trying to buy time for this big tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think we try to, like, rustle up some intel on, like, who's competing.
Okay.
To see if we actually have a shot, or if we're just walking into a fucking massacre. It's like, oh, you guys are like, you know, level. You guys have 180 experience, whatever that translates to in power.
In level.
And then it's like, oh, hey, these guys are 3 times that.
So, let's see who we're fighting.
Yeah. So that's probably what we'll try to do
On the next
on
day.
the next day is
Okay.
rustle up some intel.
All right. You return to your ship. The dog eyes you like a ribeye as you walk by, but doesn't attack. You go into your ship, and you get a good night's sleep.
There we go. Sleep tight, sleeping like a baby. I wish I had more streetwise. It's like, I can be real stealthy, but I am not real quick on the uptake. But I do have decent cunning, so it kind of balances out.
And it turns out we're fighting this guy.
No.
So, what is your plan for going about this, figuring this all out? Like, what are you doing to track down this information?
You're like, hi, my real name is blank, and we're looking for whoever's fighting in this fight just to say hi. And then get our asses kicked.
I think it'll just be like a bar crawl, basically.
Okay.
Is like just, you know, go into bars, talk, you know, mentioning this upcoming fight, seeing who's interested, talk about it with them, you know, who, you know, get the lowdown. Who's the fighters? Who's the top card? Who's
Okay.
the, you know,
Find some
who do you
big-
think the dark horse is? You know, yada yada.
The
Sports
big-
talk.
Sports talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Sports nerds.
This is going to be a good old-fashioned negotiation or charm. Probably charm. Isn't charm one? Yeah. This will
Yeah.
for sure be charm, not negotiation.
So, I do get a boost
Small
die
talk.
because
Are you good at small talk?
an average. Easy.
Yeah, average.
Oof. 1 failure, but 1 advantage.
You're not really able to track down much information on the other fighters asking around. People seem to be like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't know who's going to be in it, but from what I hear, it's going to be a pretty small showing this year because of this reason. That. So it sounds like there's not, for like a tournament, it sounds like it's not going to be like a full day, rounds after rounds. It sounds like it's like the general gist is like there's going to be enough people for a first round, and then like probably like a final finalists.
Alright.
And it seems like they're also like, it's not just who wins their fight, it's like who, of these opening bouts, who wins their fight the most supremely. Overall, the top 2 of those get to go to the final. So it's style points matter, basically.
Oh,
It's
so-
not just like, oh, we have, it's like, it could be like this. If it's this super cool knockdown, drag out brawl, you win, then that might get you there. Or if you like have particularly cool moves or whatever.
Look at the moves.
Look at the moves.
Show me your moves.
Show me the moves. Yes.
Wow, son. Listen, your precision strikes could do that, like, right out of the gate. Is be like, oh yeah, I can, like, intentionally, like, clock this dude, you know?
Ring his bell.
Ring his bell. That could be
Ring-
right up your alley.
Ring a ding ding. Ring a ding a ding ding
Ring-a-ding-a-ding.
dong.
All right. Well, I guess we're flying with that information.
All right.
And we'll go towards the. I guess because this is still the day before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to go to the designated location that wasn't explicitly mentioned.
Okay.
And try to get old Flopsy here signed up.
All right.
If you're cool with that.
And you can do that like the day before and get that all set up.
Yeah.
If you're in. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They said that they had an odd number, so they're looking for somebody to fill it in anyways. They don't expect you to make it far, but sure.
Sure.
We'll fill you in.
They got a bookie?
They don't have one there like at the sign up there. They said there'll be plenty there that evening.
Fair enough.
They're looking to make bets.
Cool. The day of or the night or that night?
It's going to be the next evening. The next day's evening. It's like
Okay.
2 days from last night.
Makes sense. All right. I'm gonna say let's get back to the Sundo and we'll let's meditate. Try to get you in the zone.
Auto zone.
In the auto zone, Flopsy drops a car on
Give him the Honda Civic!
I'd like to make an accord.
I feel like it's Chevy truck month.
You feel that? That's the power of a Ford F-150.
That's the power of the phone.
That's what you're saying.
With
That's
available
that's
EcoBoost.
romantic
That's romantic talk. you get done. That's the power of the Ford way.
That's the power of the Ford F-150. Why is that just redneck dirty talk? Anyway,
Oh my god.
you go back and you're going to try and do some meditation.
Yeah.
I think that's the...
Go ahead and both just roll me a force die.
Right.
For some time spent meditating. Of course.
One dark side. Here you go, Flopsy. I'm focused on crime and villainy.
Mm-hmm.
Also one dark side.
Also one dark side. So Flopsy, you kind of like focus and you get somewhat of you guys are both going to get somewhat of like kind of force visions during this time.
Oh.
Some of you more than others. Yours is more of a force vision, Flopsy, where you're kind of sitting there and you like get this sense of like victory. But it's this strange thing of like victory and then kind of going to this next level and like victory coming with you there. And then this like encroaching sense of like returning to being enslaved. Like if like the fighting and it like going to this next level in this big fight and feeling like you're being controlled or captured or held again. That sense kind of overwhelms you. It's a dark and sad feeling. You are kind of sitting there and focusing and meditating next to Flopsy, and you kind of... It's similar to being on that like little podium where you almost like astral project. Like you're kind of in this kind of strange place, and you kind of are sitting in this very dark space around you, and you can hear the voice of antagonist like calling out. And it's a like pitch black all around you, and you can like hear him calling out, and like the voice gets closer and further, and like, where are you? And like you can hear like hands swooping around in the darkness for you, but they never seem to make contact, and it's like pitch black where you can't ever tell where he is, and he seems to not be able to find you either, but he seems to be reaching out in some sort of way through the force. Like, no thank you.
No, thank you. If I was a little bit more of a smartass, but I know any sort of like
you don't interact at all.
No.
You just stay quiet
No.
and then like wake up.
Get out of here. It's I do not have the strength to be a smartass to this person. This is not the time to speak truth to power.
I'm gonna go cry to my rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't be a smartass. I'm not strong enough. Yeah, so you kind of come to a little later from your vision, and Flopsy's very sad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Flopsy. We don't have to do this. We can find some other way. I can win some more. Was it Pazak?
Sabak.
Sabak. I think Pazak is a different. It's like an actual game. I can win some more Sabak games. Maybe we enter like like a race tournament or something. Like there's other options. We can figure it out. Okay, you don't want to do the fight? Because we gotta go pull out like right now.
You're signed up for it.
Yeah.
You expect, and it's up to you. The vision isn't super direct. Like it's very force vision, where it's hard to know exactly what its meaning, what lies in the meanings there.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to talk to my rocks.
Okay. Well, you talk to your rocks. You find your fighting spirit. We'll get out there.
Okay. I go.
We'll make a big score, and then we can just lay low and wait until reinforcements show up. Until Saz comes and helps us out. Right?
Saz?
No, that's
Saz Hambic. That's not
sorry.
the right guy.
Zadra.
Yeah, Zadra. Zadra Cledra.
I'm looking at the notes that I have, and I'm like...
Saz Hambic is a friend.
Yeah.
But he is not coming to help you.
No, it's a Sadra dash space wizard that is hopefully going to make an appearance at some point to save our asses.
Here's hoping. Another night of rest takes you, or was that the day of that you were doing that? The next day.
That was so we had the first night, and then that day we went into this thing and then meditated, and I guess we go to sleep.
Okay, so go to sleep. And then
Day of
the day of the fight is now.
Is now. That is today.
Today is the day of the fight.
Today,
the day of our fight.
The day of our fight.
Anno fighty.
fight.
Are you doing anything else during the day? It's that evening that the fight's going to happen. So,
we got one more
anything
day.
else you're wanting to do during the day?
I'm gonna practice doing some punches, and I'm gonna do a little bit of force stuff. Try to see if I could maybe I don't know, increase my try to see if I can control my endurance while I'm fighting.
Okay.
Try to practice.
Yeah. Practice.
You feel like your mystical ability to endure is stronger, almost as if you spent experience to do that, and that your mystical ability to punch hard is stronger, almost as if you spent experience to do that.
There you go. Yeah, as you did.
Reflects the RP reflects the statistics.
Amazing. We need your stage name.
Flopsy.
No.
Flopsy.
we need something.
Flopsy's the name of your enslavers. You gotta claim it. I guess you could claim that as your name and be like, I'm taking it back for me.
Yeah.
Or come up with something rad.
I mean, we could definitely... Well, I guess we could do it the other way
the
down.
Destroyer.
Well, we could sandbag you. That's the other side of it. I'm trying to come up with intimidation, hype up the crowd.
That's what I was
but
thinking.
we can go with the sandbag of it where it's on the
Flopsy.
ticket it says Flopsy and everyone's like...
Flopsy?
And then I put a big bet on you.
Yeah, that's why I keep
For
telling
more
you.
I'm thinking clown nose. I'm thinking... I'm thinking shoes that are too big. Even for you, somehow.
We could put little bows in my little ears where my hair's all flopped down.
You could do
I
this.
am a 7-year-old
You could do
girl.
This is true.
Well, girl, you're an alien species.
I am a girl. Get out
Biologically female.
Biologically, it's fair.
Do you not see me with my rocks? I always make my dreams will come true one day when I find me too, my own rock.
That's fair.
She just wants her rock charming. Dwayne the Rock Charming.
I was thinking about trying to find you a big hoodie cloak to wear so you could throw it off and be
Walk out in the...
So that way people don't see that you're some kind of giant beforehand. They're like, Flopsy, they're just this hooded crouch figure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can walk on all fours and wear a cloak.
You don't need to be on all fours.
But you don't have to not be on all fours.
That's true.
I mean, I'll definitely be smaller looking.
Yeah. No. I just want to hear what you had thought about it.
I want my stage name to be Flopsy.
Okay.
That's the only thing I really have is I'm keeping Flopsy.
You got it. Okay.
That's my name.
We're gonna use my naturally deceptive nature to try and buy a cloak that'll kind of hide Flopsy, so that when someone goes, hey, that's the big polar bear looking thing. It's hey, that's a big guy. I don't know.
Okay.
If there's
big bows on my hair would have looked cute.
So you're trying to get the best odds you can for Flopsy.
Right.
Go ahead and roll me a deception.
Yeah.
It'll be... We'll call it a hard deception. The bookies here are a little sharper than most.
Do I get my boost die?
If you get a boost for being in a barn, yeah.
Be like Flopsy.
I'll say it's indoors that this conversation happens.
Okay. 3 success,
So no sunshine,
1
but bother.
threat.
Okay. You're able to get pretty solid odds. They don't know who this Flopsy is, and they don't seem to have high expectations. You're able to get 2-to-1 odds of Flopsy making it to the finals, and you're able to get 4-to-1 odds of Flopsy winning the finals.
Okay. We'll keep it easy. We'll do 2 to 1. I'll put how many credits do I want to put down? Sorry, I just need like a little bit of context. How much is like, say, a day's worth of living, right?
Think of a credit as $1.
Okay.
A credit is $1, but for some of the higher end expenses can be insanely higher end. So a car, if the average car was more like the cost of a small house, because like ships are pretty expensive. I guess not, speeders aren't. So yeah, it's pretty exchangeable. Like you could, an average living wage for a day is probably, I don't know.
I guess there's like hirelings, right, in this system.
Yeah.
So there's like a good analogy.
Like 100 credits a day would be someone with a good job, probably.
Okay.
Like that would be, or like a day for a day's work. Like other people out in Outer Rim and stuff like that, it's probably more big disparity between. Well,
sure. Okay, I'll put 200 on Flopsy, making it to the next round.
Okay.
So that will be. I'll say I don't have that money right now. So when I get the money back, I will know how much I get.
So yeah, so I'll get 400 back if Flopsy makes it to the next round.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, that's the sabak money I made.
Yeah.
it's all coming around.
Gambling begets gambling begets gambling.
And isn't that just what
for the sake of this with the time, I think that is where we're going to pause this session. And we'll pick up next time with the pit fight to try and make some money and maybe make it to a big fiasco over at the Hut's Tower.
Ooh,
Could be.
I think that's going to go really well for everybody.
I wonder if there's chips and salsa.
It's a Hut Tower. There better be chips and salsa. The salsa is probably like squashed weird toad aliens, but hey,
who's counting?
Not the Huts. With that, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this session, and hope you look forward to the next one, where we get a little deeper into these pit fights. Bye.